This is a Sites Platinum or Gold. We'll see where we end up. It is one of the first, and I think we're going to find out when we're all done, but it should be the greenest park, certainly on the West Coast. When we got involved with HopeLink, there was a gap in what they were needing, right? They would go out and get their food from the farms, and it's all free, and it was great, but they only plant so much. So there's this gap in what they need for the people they serve, right? So we worked with them to understand what that gap is, and we are planting that gap here. Now, once we roll with this, it'll be 30 to 40 boxes every week. HopeLink was here today and took out 6 or 8 boxes, which is for us a small harvest, but it's the first piece of it. I spent a lot of time with this railroad history group, coming up with all sorts of names. We settled on Feriton Spur Park as the name, and one of the things that we thought was important was, building a true identity for the park, and it starts with the name, frankly. And so you'll see the water tower has in bright, bold, white letters Feriton Spur Park, and then at the entry of 6th Street, you'll see a nice new Feriton Spur Park sign. So I think we're getting there with our identity now. I think people know it now. The water tower is part of the whole train depot, and we call this area Chain Line Station.
We were around for the beginning of that because that's when the business started.
That's right.
And just kind of happened into, being a bike-themed brewery that was looking to open in Kirkland. And
having Chain Line Station here, having this operation in this park, I think is going to be a destination for people on the east side to come to.
The trail was our lifeblood before, and we're super excited to be back.
Do you know what the hours are going to be?
8 a.m. for now, and then kind of transition into beer in the afternoon somewhere at 2 o'clock, and go till 10 p.m.
This will be really cool. I'm really excited to get this thing rolling. So yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to this evening's program. My name is Ian Goodhue, and I'm here on behalf of Google, and I want to welcome you to our Feriton Spur Park expansion grand opening. We've got a star-studded cast up here to speak to you, and then we're going to see a short video about this sculpture, and then we're going to have the band start playing after we reveal the sculpture. So I'm going to introduce, we're very fortunate to have a great MC this evening, former council member, former mayor, and former state legislator, Joan McBride. So without further ado, I'll ask her on up.
I have some very bad news for everyone. I'm now doing stand-up comedy, so no. Well, I want to welcome everybody, and we're going to get this party started, but we do have to have a little bit of speechifying and a little bit of an intro. So I want to welcome all of you to the grand opening, the riveting reveal, and the unveiling of the Feriton Spur Park extension. I tried saying that 3 times fast today, and I don't know, my lips kind of tied themselves into a knot. My name is Joan McBride, and I'm thrilled to be the MC for today's festivities. So once upon a time, a very long time ago, I was on the Kirkland City Council. And I was lucky enough to be on the council at a time when the Kirkland Council made what I thought was a wonderful, amazing plan to purchase the Cross Kirkland corridor. So that, yeah, it was really, we were ahead of our times back then, and now some of us are retired. Anyways, so I want you to just think about what that trail used to look like before we purchased it. Do you remember that it was a abandoned railway line? Do you remember walking on it? Just imagine what it was like back then to walk on it. Do you remember walking over railroad ties and trying not to trip? Do you remember falling on that hard, big riprap? Or the blackberry bushes winding around your ankles like some kind of serpent? All of that is gone. And what happened shortly after that? But Google came to Kirkland. And then Google decided to make a park along the Cross Kirkland corridor. And that's where we see our first extension, which is, I'm sure you're all very aware of and remember, So today we're going to be hearing from some of those people who made the Cross Kirkland corridor possible and also who developed this wonderful extension of the park. So let's get started with that. I want to introduce our first speaker. It's absolutely my pleasure to introduce the mayor of the city of Kirkland. Miss, I understand, Mayor, that you ordered sunshine for today. Is that right?
I did.
This is one powerful woman. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Kirkland, Penny Sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Kirkland's indomitable previous council member, previous mayor, and previous state representative, Joan McBride. And a special thank you to Dave Thompson, SRM, and Google for hosting this wonderful celebration. I believe this occasion is an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the spirit of collaboration that has developed and continues to grow among Google, SRM, and the city for the enhancement of our community. On our city council, making things better in our community is also an ongoing group effort. So join me in acknowledging the city council members that are with us this evening. Councilmember Toby Nixon, raise your hand, please, if you're out there, because I don't really know if anybody's out there. Councilmember Amy Falcone, Deputy Mayor Jay Arnold. I do not see Council Mayor. There she is, the redhead. Councilmember Kelly Curtis, Councilmember Neil Black. Okay, and John Pascal cannot be with us this evening because he is ill. I see also joining us from the city of Bellevue, Councilmember Janice On and Councilmember Jeremy Barksdale. They're really jealous this evening, so they had to come to Kirkland once again for some more water. Oh, sorry, Jessica. And Marie, say it again, because you and I have not met. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Building something as beautiful and as well-loved as Feriton Spur Park is truly the result of an ongoing group effort, and this edition adds to what this group of people sitting with me have been able to accomplish. This segment of the Cross Kirkland corridor is but the latest of a series of enhancements that have been made to build upon and fulfill a bold vision that was embraced more than a decade ago. At that time, what we now know as the East Rail was a rail corridor that connected many cities through King and Snohomish County. We saw it daily ferrying fuselages between Boeing's Everett and Renton plants. Kirkland's leaders at the time, and you're going to hear a common theme here, we're kind of proud of what we did back then, but our leaders at the time had the vision that this corridor could create green links between our neighborhoods, our schools, parks, and commercial centers. With careful planning, investment, and partnerships, we could transform it from a somewhat noisy avenue of industry to a signature element of the city's long-established plans and policies. It could help make Kirkland a place where one has options to leave your car behind and walk, ride, or roll nearly anywhere in the city safely and surrounded by beauty. So Kirkland's leaders bought the corridor outright. We named the segment within the city's limits the Cross Kirkland Corridor and almost immediately began building the interim trail. With collaboration from the community, the city created a master plan for the corridor's multi-year improvements. And we want those improvements to add grace to our experience with the Cross Kirkland Corridor, as we are doing right now with the construction of the Totem Lake Connector Bridge in the newly transformed Totem Lake area. You gotta go see it. Clearly, Google and SRM share that dedication to graceful improvements into this public treasure. This extension of Feriton Spur Park is a delightful addition and increasingly activates this portion of the CKC. It is beautiful, welcoming, fun, and yet another jewel for this treasure of ours, the CKC. We are enormously grateful to Google and SRM, not only in their partnership and commitment to our city, but also in their confidence in it. Thank you for inspiring us to continue to move boldly towards our vision for Kirkland. And thank you all for joining us here this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Now that I've got my papers under control, I want to just introduce, before our next speaker, just a couple of other people. I believe our city manager for the city of Kirkland, Kurt Triplett's here as well. So, yay. And I'm not sure, I might have missed it, but I believe, looking right at him, is State Representative from the Fightin' 48th District, Representative Larry Springer. So another key player in the development of the trail in support of the park is King County. It's my honor now to introduce the chair of the King County Council and a proud East Side resident, the Honorable Claudia Balducci.
Thank you so much. See, when you're not retired, you remember to bring the binder, and the papers don't blow around. Yeah. I am so delighted to be here, to be part of this day where we see another part of this dream that Kirkland dreamed a decade ago coming into reality. It's just amazing. I want to add to what the mayor said. I represent parts of Kirkland, but also parts of Bellevue and Redmond, so I'd like to welcome Redmond Council Chair Jessica Forsyth and Redmond Council Member Varisha Khan today. She doesn't represent them, I do. We're all remembering this story from years ago about this dream, and it was 10 years ago. I was serving on the Bellevue City Council, and a delegation from the city of Kirkland came to us to share their vision. And at that time, it was just a big piece of plotter paper that they rolled out on the table and said, "What do you think?" And we said, "Looks great. Enjoy. Good luck." You know, we didn't join in early. We did not have the vision in Bellevue that Kirkland did. But this is just an inspiration. I believe actually it was former Mayor McBride who was at that meeting, and also City Manager Kurt Triplett. We have to all say thank you to Kurt. As the Deputy County Executive under Ron Sims, and then the County Executive himself, Kurt was really the visionary who thought to preserve this whole 42-mile trail from Renton all the way up to Snohomish County with the Spur through Redmond and Woodinville. We would not have any of this without his vision. So I'm just going to ask us to please give a round of applause for Kurt. And I also want to just really appreciate what another thing the city of Kirkland is so good at. They love to celebrate and party. They barely need an excuse. Like most people do ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings, but like 30% design, let's throw a party, you know? Like they love to build community, and that's why we're all here today, because they pursued a vision of community building. And then amazing partners like the big company here, Google, decided to set up their home and create what we like to call in the business TOD, which is, of course, trail-oriented development, right? See, some of you thought I was going to say something else. You know, where the geeks are sitting there. Sorry. Anyway, we also are lucky that we have small businesses and community business like Chainline Brewery, who set up along here and make a place for us to hang out and to socialize and enjoy together. So I'm proud to be here on behalf of King County today, though, where our vision for this entire 42-mile rails to trails conversion was born. Together with city partners like Kirkland and Bellevue and Redmond, we're creating a major active transportation superstructure where you will be able to get out of your car and travel by foot or on bike. You'll be able to embrace forms of transportation that are healthier for the environment, for yourself. We'll have safe and accessible recreation areas, community spaces throughout this part of East King County. People will come from all over to enjoy what we enjoy in our own backyard. This new park is a major step on that journey towards the vision of the East Trail. I'm delighted to be here to help celebrate this milestone. Congratulations, Kirkland. Congratulations, Google. I look forward to seeing you all as we open new segments up and down. The next one to the south will be over Northeast 8th Street. There will be a beautiful crossing bridge down there right next to the pump house. Let's have a party down there in another year or so. Thanks very much. All right, bye.
I think Councilmember Balducci is telling us that this is going to be the party corridor, the party trail, huh? So before I introduce our next speaker, you know, one of the great things about it, so Kirkland had a vision, we just heard about it, but it took a company to come here that said, we want to be a part of this trail, and we are willing to invest a great deal of money to make that happen. And that's where we have the first extension, the first portion of the trail. And then they have the amazing development company that is building these beautiful buildings and developing this trail, which is SRM Development. And I feel very lucky that I get to introduce the next two speakers. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Google's site lead for Washington State, Paco Galanes.
Yeah, thank you, former Mayor McBride, for kicking the event today and MC and this whole thing. It's great to be here. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be here and represent Google. I've worked and lived in Kirkland for the last 7 years. Actually, it's the second time that I've lived in Kirkland. I had to come back once I heard about the corridor. And we really, my family and I really love being part of this city. Thank you, Mayor Penny Sweet and Council Member Claudia Balducci for joining us today, but also for continuing to be champions, really champions of the work that we're doing here in this community. We're also honored that several members of the Kirkland City Council have joined us to mark this occasion. I think you've all been presented already, so I won't go over that again, but welcome. And thank you, Dave Thompson and SRM. The SRM team that developed this place, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and I'm happy that we can come here together as a community and celebrate this opening. Google has been here in Kirkland since 2004. We started just down the road with a handful of engineers, and we've been steadily growing in the area, obviously with the 6th Street campus here that keeps growing. And now with our new location in Kirkland Urban, which when it'll be done, it will be a total of 4 buildings and a fair amount of square footage for Google offices. We're also hopeful that we'll be able to open the new campus in the 85th Street, the station area, and in the coming years, right? So one thing that I wanted to talk about is I think it's an important part of investing in the community is making sure that we're providing benefits for the overall community and opportunities for everybody as we grow. So our involvement really here ranges from our own Googlers volunteering for local communities and local organizations to actually helping address some of our housing and homelessness crisis by supporting local organizations like Attain Housing and the Kirkland Parks and Community Foundation. And for example, supporting our local arts through the Studio East Children's Theater. And of course, we are very proud of our partnership with the City of Kirkland to bring this new park here for everybody, for all the people in Kirkland. We call Kirkland our home, and we hope to keep growing here. So we are grateful to the leaders, organizations, businesses, and the people in the community. And we look forward to continue to partner with you all. Thank you, everyone, for being here today on a beautiful day. And I hope you get to enjoy Feriton Park today and for many years to come. And with that, I'll hand the mic over to Dave Thompson. Not quite so fast.
Oh. He'll be coming. I want to also call out someone else that we're welcoming back to the corridor after a bit of a hiatus. You know, Scott Holm from Chain Line Brewery is coming back. Yeah, he's over in the in the Caboose Lounge. So we're all going to be stopping there, I hope. And after the speechifying today, you can see me over there buying a brew. So. So this next introduction is very special for me because I've known this gentleman for a very long time. So our next speaker, he is the development manager for SRM Development. And he's the man who poured his vision and perseverance into this park. And you know what I like to call him? I call him the Park Whisperer. So it is my pleasure to introduce Dave Thompson.
Thanks, Joan. How cool is this park? Seriously. This park is cool. There's nothing like this park anywhere on the east side. There's nothing like this park, I don't know, anywhere in the country. I understand it was rated the best park in America.
By Dave Thompson.
By me. So, just so you know, we have so much to talk about. I don't have a lot of time, but if I did, I'd tell you about all my problems. Hold it. Let me rephrase that. We had some challenges we had to get through to get this park built, and they were hard, all right? But I don't want to get too far into it. But I do want to thank the team of people that helped us build this park and build the building. I want to introduce the group from Fouché, Craig Miller, the project manager. Craig, where are you? Craig, are you out there? And then Jeremy Webb. Jeremy, you out there? How about Jess Harris with Fouché? He's the project engineer. Jess over there. Okay, good. Jess, stand up, dude. Stand up. Let's see it. Yeah, good. This was hard, man. Take a bow. There you go. Attaboy. And then let me look at my notes here to make sure I'm not missing any. Oh, yeah, Larry Dixon. Larry, where are you? Larry was the superintendent. Where's Larry? So Fouché, they did a wonderful job getting this project off the ground, getting it nearly completed. And you should have seen this place a week ago. It was a whole different place than it is right now, I guarantee it. So it looks beautiful. So thank you, Fouché. I also wanted to introduce our architects. Jim Beckett with the DLR group. Jim, you might recognize Jim. Now you guys have seen the caboose, right? You've seen the train depot. If you look at the picture on the ticket taker window, you might recognize somebody. Jim, you want to say hi to everyone just real fast? There you go. Yep. And then Ben Marta was the architect, the other architect. Ben's back there. Thank you, Ben. Bob Curley, he was the civil engineer. Everything's going to work, right? Okay, good. All right. And then I also want to introduce our landscape architects. These guys did all the heavy lifting in this park. Amber McClusick. Amber, stand up. And where's Marina French? Marina, back there. Good job, Marina. Thank you. You guys were awesome. And I also want to say just a little bit about Kurt Triplett in the city of Kirkland. Where's Kurt at? I've worked in Seattle, I've worked in Bellevue, I've worked in Coeur d'Alene, I've worked in Spokane, I've worked in a lot of places, but I've never worked with a city as good as the city of Kirkland. You have to be very, very proud of this city and this city manager and the people that helped us pull this off. It is not easy taking a caboose and moving it 200 feet and dropping it into a park and putting alcohol in it, all right? So that is not easy, all right? But I had a lot of help from the city of Kirkland. They were awesome to work with. Kurt Triplett, thank you very much. You guys are awesome to work with. And then the last person is not here tonight, Danielle Lockler. She is the senior project manager with SRM Development. She's been my sidekick for the last, it takes a long time to do this stuff. I started thinking about this 6 years ago. I started doing something serious about it 4.5 years ago, and here we are tonight. So it does take time, and I've been working with Danielle for almost 4 years on this project, and she is not here tonight. She is really super pregnant. And I think she's gonna have a baby, like, she told me, like, she thinks like next week. So that's likely to happen. So anyhow, I hope everyone enjoys the park. I am thrilled to be here tonight. I kept telling my team, you know, there's gonna be a party. I've done this before. I know what these parties look like, and they're a lot of fun. So enjoy yourself tonight. I do want to introduce now Amber McClusick. She was the artist that came up with this sculpture design. When Amber and I started working on this, we had some pretty crazy ideas, and some of them were not honestly very good. And I went to Amber one day and I said, "Hey, Amber, I got to talk to you. I hate to say this, but I'm I'm not tracking yet, you know. I don't think these are great, you know. And she's like, I kind of agree with you. So, you know, the bottom line for us was, you know, people are going to look at this and your name's on it, my name's on it, and, you know, we got to get this right. So I think after I got goosebumps on my arms when she introduced this concept to me, I think we got it right. I think you guys will get this. So Amber, come on up. Thank you very much.
So that's a true story. There were some ideas that were thrown out earlier in the game that Dave was not crazy about. And he said, I don't think we're going to do this Kalakala sculpture. And I said, you asked us to give you something that hopefully would blow your mind. And so that was the intent. Yay. So this is a really great opportunity for us and the team to participate. Thank you all. The city, your commitment to just providing this is really amazing. Some of the, you know, the challenges that Dave mentioned in terms of this park, you know, this was a historic rail corridor. So just saving it for the public is one thing, but really making it a healthy place after years and years of industry coming through here, clean industry, visionaries coming to Kirkland and really wanting to reinvent this as a healthy, human-centered experience is just amazing.
Hold on.
So, yes?
I forgot something. I have one other group that I forgot to mention tonight. It's terrible because I've been working with them for 14 years. And it's Mark Rowe with Google. Hello. Sorry. What an idiot. And Steve Moore and Jim Isif and the team from CBRE who I've worked with for years and specifically on this project. And these guys are great. They get it. They provided all this great feedback and definitely made the project better. Love working with these guys. So thank you, Mark. He's not here. It's his birthday. We'll sing happy birthday to him later. Jeremy, let's not forget that. All right. And thank all the guys from CBRE. I apologize.
No. So, the vision of innovative companies and innovators coming to Kirkland and carrying on the history of industry and innovation that has really been part of the community since its founding and prior. So, we have a video to introduce some of the thinking behind the artwork. And thank you all today for coming out. So, we'll just start the video.
Where do old boats go when they are no longer in service? Some, like Old Ironside, famous for its exploits in the War of 1812, receive a moorage of honor for life. In the case of the Kalakala, the famous ferry that plied the waters of Lake Washington and Puget Sound for half of the 20th century, pieces remain, and the city of Kirkland, which owns the most significant and recognizable ones, wants to use them to tell the vessel's story and inspire future generations. Because this story is not only the Kalakala story, it's Puget Sound story, Kirkland, Washington story, and ultimately the story of how technology, art, and the Northwest spirit of innovation produced a one-of-a-kind icon and could again.
The Kalakala was beautiful and innovative and iconic and beloved, but it also had these other periods of life in its lifespan where it was used and reused for different purposes. It went through a period of dereliction, and ultimately it was scrapped, after which the city of Kirkland was able to purchase some of its pieces. In our exploration of a sculpture concept, we wanted to make sure that we were respecting each of those periods. We wanted to include some of the original form, the aerodynamic Art Deco styling that made the Kalakala fly across the water.
We also created physical and digital maquettes that we modified and manipulated in different ways and forms to help us to think about, you know, what can this be and how can we maintain as much of it as we can without fixing it up and making it new.
My name is Ice Rogers, and I'm a fabricator at Architectural Elements in Bellingham, Washington. This is a bird sculpture, the Kalakala. It's reclaimed pieces and parts from the ferry that ran in the Seattle area for years. This particular project had a lot of design elements that were left very much to the fabricator. Creative problem solving is kind of what we do. Just because you have a design doesn't mean that it's just going to come together right away. You have to figure out how to make it work. The birds are actually from the ferry. They were big rusted panels, looked like they came right out of a recycling yard. They had been sandblasted, but there was a lot of rust. The stanchion frames that support the birds are heavy wall, strong tube steel. They're all in radiuses and curves. Like I said, they look simple, but they were very difficult to put together. When you try to fabricate something and make it look simple, usually it's anything but. To make it simple, make it clean, there's usually a lot of design that goes into that.
So if we can have the speakers come up, and we are going to do the unveiling of this awesome, and we're going to pull the strings. We're going to pull the strings really, really hard. And we'll do it, I'll count down from, shall we do it 5 to just increase the tension?
Hey, Joan, can you like go out there a little ways? I don't want to drop it on your head.
Oh, well, okay. I think I might like a little bail. Okay, we'll do it on 1. We'll start at 5.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, I'll take a little time to say I didn't expect to have a drive-in movie experience. Did you guys? Okay. Okay. I'm going to come right out here with Toby. How you doing, Toby?
We're doing great.
Okay. Doing good?
The Kalakala will make it better.
Okay. How are you doing?
Excellent.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull! Oh, careful.
Is that good Velcro?
Oh!
Keep pulling. Grab the end. Grab the end.
All right. Almost. We always do things with community, don't we?
Dave did say it was hard, right?
Yeah. It takes a city to pull down those tarps. Okay, that's the end of our program. So I want to invite all of you to explore this amazing expansion of the park. This is a great linear park. Enjoy the refreshment stations. Visit me over at the drink tank. Not tank. Did I say tank? Is that a Freudian slip? Over at the drink tents and the wonderful Splash Park. Welcome back, Chain Link Brewery, to the corridor, and together check out the gardens and explore this marvelously curated park. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your summer.
It's been 10 years and 3 since I first went to sea, since I sailed from Rhode Island, my home. But those hills, lush and green, were a part of my dreams. I dreamed of my calling alone. On the day I returned to my sorrow, I learned the angels had called her away to a grave on the hill overlooking the mill. That's the place where she's sleeping today. As the soft breezes blow through the meadow, I'll go past the mill with the moss-covered stone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vines to be with my Carly Malone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vines There's a ridge where things are out underhand. 'Cause my car don't shine when I drive. I never drove a day of vacation time